season that is never ending. There is an end in sight. The Premier League season comes to a close next Sunday. But before then, we do have, of course, a game against Manchester United before facing Nottingham Forest. There is just 2 games to go, and we somehow, some way, we are still in 5th place with a chance at Champions League football. Nicholas Jackson will be breathing a very slight breath of relief, a sigh of relief after the absolute nightmare, the disaster that was the game against Newcastle. And now that tempers have, rested, everyone's calmed down now. We've just a breathe in, breathe out. It's okay. There's still time. Just about. It isn't over until it's over. And all thanks to, yet again, an already relegated side. Nottingham Forest dropping points after our game. This time against Leicester City. Obviously, Manchester City dropped points against Southampton. It's the relegated sides that are helping us out in this season. And again, I tweeted out the other day that or yesterday, I don't want to hear. If we get it done, we get it done. But I don't want to hear anyone praising Maresca. I don't want to see anyone praising the players as a collective for getting the job done. At this point, the way we've been going, the way that the season's going, the fact that we are still 5th, the fact that we are still in this Champions League race after the season we've had, the ups and the downs, and dropping points against Brentford and Ipswich, and obviously the Christmas period and the period after that, and everything that's happened, losing to Newcastle in the fashion that we did, and still coming away relatively unscathed. It's complete and utter luck. At the end of this season, if we get Champions League, it's luck. It is a fortune. We have just become a very fortunate club. Aston Villa, they're creeping. At this rate, it does seem as though they are the team that we are fighting against to get Champions League football. And at the same time, although everyone seemed to want Arsenal to, I don't even think that's the updated fucking lineup. I literally just updated it, and for some reason it hasn't updated. Let me just do that. Is that okay now? I think that's good. Even still, it's the same. A point clear of Nottingham Forest. So it's still after everything I've said months in advance, and I think a lot of people would have called it as well, or said that you could have called that a mile away. I don't think people could have. The fact that the game against Nottingham Forest is going to be a Champions League decider, supposing that Chelsea and Forest both win their upcoming games. We've got ours next. Manchester United on Friday. Forest play on Sunday. I'll be doing a watch along for that as well. They've got West Ham, who've just absolutely terrible as well. So chances are it's going to come down to the final day. Aston Villa, they've got Tottenham. So again, it's going to come down to the final day. Listen, let's have a look. Let's have a little look-see at this is how it stands at the moment. Nottingham Forest in 7th, Newcastle in 3rd. We're still in 5th. And our maximum points now are that of the bottom 3 in this scenario. Newcastle with 72. Manchester City with 71. They have the best last 2 games, Bournemouth and Fulham. I would argue, maybe. In fact, no. Realistically, it's Villa. Let's be fair. Spurs and United. Spurs game will be a walk in the park. The game against United comes after the Europa League has finished. So maybe it's a bit trickier of a game. It's not like for us, Manchester United should be a walk in the park. It should be a formality. It should be an absolute battering. If anything, they're not going to play any one of their strongest players. You might see Mason Mount play in some capacity, but for the most part, it is going to be and should be a win. If we don't win this, one, not only is it over, not only is that it finiti caput, it's there's just no Champions League next season, but it has to be a win. We cannot justify. No one can justify us dropping points against this Manchester United side who I mean, they're not even on the screen right now, but if I just check the Premier League table, I mean, everyone knows at this point, 16th place and Tottenham in 17th place. They've lost 17 games. They've won 10, drawn 9, minus 11 goal difference, 39 points. And again, if it wasn't for the bottom three being as awful as they are, I don't know. The thing is, 40 points is safety, usually, these days. So, albeit they're 16th and 17th, 39, 38 points. I don't think they win another game this season, to be completely honest with you, but even still. But going back to Newcastle, I think a lot of people would have been looking forward and wanting some sort of upset. This is before the Arsenal and Liverpool game. Everyone was vying for Liverpool. Everyone was cheering on Liverpool, and obviously they didn't get the job done there. But suppose Liverpool won that game, everyone, including Chelsea fans, not that it mattered too much, but everyone would have been wanting a Newcastle win to go along with that Liverpool win, because then it puts Arsenal in a bit of a sticky situation. Now that hasn't happened and Arsenal are almost a foregone conclusion to get Champions League football, we're now changing that, and everyone is wanting, and everyone should be wanting, Arsenal to beat Newcastle, because what happens then, if Arsenal beat Newcastle, they stay on 66 points. If we beat United, we go level on them with 66 points. We need to build our goal difference up, though. That's another big thing. The goal difference has been a huge thing this season for us. One of our strongest things. It's bigger than Forest, just about. It's much bigger than Villa, which again, with Villa coming up into this argument more and more these days, I think that could be something that sways it. If it all comes down to being on level points, because it is at the moment 63, 62, it's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. So what we need desperately is for Arsenal to get a win against Newcastle on the weekend. Again, that'll be part of a double header. I'm doing Tottenham. No, I'm not. I'm doing West Ham versus Forest on Sunday at 2, and then finishing that day with Arsenal versus Newcastle. So we will know, because we would have already played. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we beat Manchester United convincingly as well to build that goal difference up a little bit more. But then we will also know, if Forest lose against West Ham somehow, or drop points even, just a draw, that is fantastic coming into the final game against them. And then also cheering on Arsenal, which no one likes to do, will be the order of the day on the end of Sunday this week. But there we go. That is, coming into these last two games, pretty much what needs to happen is a win in both games. Truth be told, it's as simple as that, realistically. I think a lot of people had a bit of a wake-up call, with our fixtures. We've beaten Djurgården, we beat Liverpool. Wow, that gave a lot of people a bit of a false narrative going into that game against Newcastle, thinking that we just go there and, we've got good momentum at the moment. We beat Liverpool. It wasn't the win people think it was. We beat Djurgården, we beat Everton, we beat Fulham. We lost to Legia Warsaw with a fairly strong team. We drew to Ipswich, we beat Legia Warsaw, we drew to Brentford, we beat Tottenham, we lost to Arsenal, we beat Copenhagen, we beat Leicester, we've beaten Copenhagen, we've beaten Southampton, and then before then we lost to Villa, lost to Brighton again in the FA Cup. We beat West Ham, sorry. We lost to City. The run that we're on isn't that impressive. It's not. It really isn't. And I think because of how long the winning streak has gone on, and, oh, well, what, do you want us to lose, do you? No, I'm just saying, the people that we've beaten and the winning streak and the unbeaten run that we've been on isn't as impressive as people think it is. And then you sprinkle a little cheeky win against Liverpool in there, and people came into that Newcastle game thinking we were just going to turn them over. And it wasn't going to happen. And then you throw in a donkey decision like Jackson to get sent off in the way that he did. It's an issue. Nottingham Forest isn't necessarily going to be an easy game. Manchester United should and needs to be an absolute battering. It really does. It really, really truthfully does. There's just no two ways about it. It needs to be a very conclusive 2-3, maybe even 4-0 win. But it's Manchester United, and the fuckers love to get a result against us. They love to show up. But the argument is they are going to have a stupidly weakened side against us. They have lost so many games lately. They have lost so many games. They lost to West Ham. They lost to Brentford. They've drawn to Bournemouth, lost to Wolves. It's just unforgivable if we lose that game or draw even. It's a must-win game. Let me know your thoughts on the situation. I'll leave it there. I'm live tomorrow for Coventry, or tonight, whenever you're watching this. Coventry versus Sunderland, or Sunderland versus Coventry. If you have any invested interest in seeing what Frankie Lampard can do with Coventry, taking them to the playoff finals, then join me for that. If not, please do just like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. With that said, my name is Harry Chelsea, and peace.